Well, welcome, Oregon, and congratulations on making the finals. My name is Pat Wong, and I'm a retired Superior Court Commissioner from Sacramento, California. And my colleagues?
My name is Joe Stewart, and I'm a professor of political science at Clemson University in South Carolina.
My name is Anthony Aravino, and I'm an environmental attorney in Montpelier, Vermont.
Please introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Van Vliet. I'm the captain of Unit 3, which deals with the ideals in the Declaration of Independence, now the Constitution, has furthered them. I'd like to introduce my teacher, Tim Swinehart, our coach, Christy Split, and our principal, Peyton Chapman. Thank you for being here.
Hello, I'm Hannah Seminario. Good afternoon. I'm Robin Lambert.
My name is Moses Arkinscott.
Hello, judges. My name is Claire DeVoe.
Hi, judges. My name is Minerva Chen. Thank you for being here today.
It's going to be Unit 3, and the remaining question is question 1. An American scholar claims that because democracy is a government by persuasion and deliberation, it implies the existence of what, in the British tradition, is known as loyal opposition. So long as the opposition is attached to the fundamental principles upon which democratic government is based, organized opposition to the prevailing government is not only legitimate, but essential to its proper functioning. Do you agree or disagree, and why? How would you describe or define loyal opposition, and how would you distinguish it from obstructionism? What purposes does or should loyal opposition serve in a democracy? You may begin.
The Alien and Sedition Acts of 1798 stifled criticism of government.
In 1856, Senator Charles Sumner is brutally beaten with a cane by Representative Preston Brooks on the floor of the U.S. Senate.
The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is held up by a 57-day filibuster.
Evan Bayh declines re-election, scowling at the dysfunctional Congress.
Senator Jim Budding delays unemployment benefits for 100,000 Americans.
Do these events fall under the ideal of loyal opposition, or are they just standing in the way of democracy?
Loyal opposition is the idea that organized opposition to the ruling party is necessary to balance ideas within the government. The term arose in the UK in the 18th century, where the head of the largest minority party received the title of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition. Loyal opposition allows parties to oppose each other without opposing their country.
I agree with the American scholar's view that loyal opposition is essential to democracy. It helps further ideas by encouraging multiple viewpoints on political issues. Successful loyal opposition ends in compromise, allowing legislation to pass with broader support. For example, in 1965, our Congress passed complicated Medicaid and Medicare legislation with bipartisan support. Loyal opposition is encouraged in parliamentary democracies through weekly question time with the Prime Minister. Loyal opposition is a recognized essential check in many forms of government, including our own.
I disagree. Although loyal opposition is oftentimes based upon fundamental principles and allows for the minority to have a voice in government, such practices can lead to abuse. Some congressmen use concepts of loyal opposition to force a compromise in their favor. Senator Richard Shelby of Alabama put a blanket hold on only 70 of President Obama's nominees to gain leverage for his state. Cheryl Stolberg, a writer with the New York Times, addresses minorities' right to an obligation to stick to its ideological principles. Loyal opposition has changed over time from parties working together for the good of the country to now solely working for the good of their own party.
Some argue that loyal opposition has become obstructionism or deliberately interfering with the legislative process. Unlike loyal opposition, the goal of obstructionism is to deliberately interfere with opposing legislation. Loyal opposition encourages a marketplace of ideas where all voices are heard, including minorities. However, as Ezra Klein of the Washington Post notes, obstructionism has become so common that Congress has been virtually capable of getting anything difficult done because the opposing party will either block it, run against it, or both.
The primary form of obstructionism today is the filibuster. Once seen as a necessary tool of the loyal opposition, the filibuster is a form of opposition that can be traced back to the 1850s. Under Senate Rule 22, continuous debate in the Senate can only be ended by cloture, which requires 60 votes. Now a filibuster means there will not be a vote on a bill without cloture. The Democrats recently lost their filibuster-proof majority with the loss of Senator Ted Kennedy and the election of Senator Scott Brown. Because of this, it required creative legislative maneuvering to pass health care reform.
Many believe that loyal opposition is essential to democracy, which favors rule by the people because it allows all voices to be heard in debate. People rule through voting. An educated voter learns about both sides of issues and chooses the best candidate. Without loyal opposition, there is only one side to each issue and one best candidate. Clearly, this would undermine democracy. Loyal opposition serves in a democracy by protecting Americans from tyranny of the majority, as feared by Madison in Federalist 10. With loyal opposition, minority positions are allowed a voice, on the Senate floor and in the voting booth.
Thank you. What relationship do you think exists among the concepts of limited government, checks and balances, and loyal opposition?
Well, loyal opposition acts as a check in itself. Without disagreement, there would be no need for checks, but with loyal opposition, there are different views that need to be represented, and it's used as a check to help get different ideas represented, and that's kind of like the marketplace of ideas.
Limited government is extremely related to loyal opposition because if the people still retain rights, then those rights can be used as loyal opposition, like the right to free speech and to petition the government under the First Amendment.
The idea behind limited government and checks and balances is to limit what the government can do and to ensure that no one single party or faction can take over the entire government. This is very similar to loyal opposition because the idea behind the loyal opposition is that the minority party can hold those in the majority accountable for their actions.
Though the intention of controlling the majority party is a good one, unfortunately we have seen that the minority can force their own tyranny with the use of a filibuster.